100 Civics Questions Part 1. Q110. Easy Citizenship Practice. 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. A cozy cafe with soft music playing. Andrea and David sit across from each other at a small table, each with a coffee.
Hi, David. I'm glad we could meet here today to start practicing your U.S. citizenship test questions. How are you feeling about it so far?
Hey, Andrea. I'm a bit nervous, but excited. I want to get this right, so practicing with you really helps.
That's great to hear. Remember, this is just practice, so take your time. I'll ask a question, give you 3 answer choices with punctuation, and then you can choose which one you think is right. After that, I'll explain why the correct answer is what it is. Ready to begin?
Ready as I'll ever be. Let's do it.
Question 1. How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? A. 16 and older. B. 21 and older. C. 18 and older.
I'll go with C. 18 and older.
Correct. The voting age in the United States is 18 and older. This was set by the 26th Amendment in 1971, reflecting the idea that if someone is old enough to serve in the military, they should also be able to vote. It applies to all federal, state, and local elections. Question 2. We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? A. 4 years. B. 6 years. C. 2 years.
I'll go with B. 6 years.
That's right. U.S. senators serve 6-year terms. This longer term allows senators to focus on broader national issues without the pressure of frequent elections. Senate elections are staggered so that approximately 1/3 of senators are elected every 2 years, ensuring continuity. Question 3. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? A. Speech. B. Right to bear arms. C. Right to a trial by jury.
I'll go with A. Speech.
Exactly. Freedom of speech is one of the key rights protected by the First Amendment. It guarantees that citizens can express their opinions without fear of government censorship or punishment. This right is fundamental to American democracy and public discourse. Question 4. Why did the colonists fight the British? A. Because the British respected their rights. B. Because of high taxes. C. Because the British ended slavery.
I'll go with B. Because of high taxes.
Correct. The colonists were frustrated by taxation without representation, meaning they were being taxed by the British government without having any say in Parliament. High taxes on everyday goods like tea and paper led to protests and eventually the fight for independence. Question 5. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? A. The Atlantic Ocean. B. The Arctic Ocean. C. The Pacific Ocean.
I'll go with C. The Pacific Ocean.
Right. The Pacific Ocean borders the west coast of the U.S., including states like California, Oregon, and Washington. It's the largest ocean on Earth, stretching from the west coast all the way to Asia and Australia. Question 6. What are the two major political parties in the United States? A. Democratic and Republican. B. Green and Libertarian. C. Federalist and Whig.
I'll go with A. Democratic and Republican.
That's correct. The Democratic and Republican parties are the two main political parties in the U.S. Almost all presidents and members of Congress come from these two parties. Knowing this helps understand the U.S. political system and elections. Question 7. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. A. The Mississippi River. B. The Colorado River. C. The Hudson River.
I'll go with A. The Mississippi River.
Yes, the Mississippi River is one of the longest rivers in the U.S., running from Minnesota down to the Gulf of Mexico. It has played a major role in American history, transportation, and agriculture. Question 8. Who was the first president? A. George Washington. B. Thomas Jefferson. C. Abraham Lincoln.
I'll go with A. George Washington.
Correct. George Washington was the first president of the United States, serving from 1789 to 1797. He is known as the father of our country for leading the American Revolution and setting important precedents for the presidency. Question 9. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? A. Thomas Jefferson. B. Benjamin Franklin. C. John Adams.
I'll go with A. Thomas Jefferson.
Right. Thomas Jefferson was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. His words helped declare the colony's freedom from British rule and laid the foundation for American ideals of liberty. Question 10. Name one branch or part of the government. A. Congress. B. The President. C. The Supreme Court.
I'll go with B. The President.
Correct. The President is part of the executive branch, which enforces laws. The U.S. government has three branches: legislative, Congress, executive, President, and judicial, Supreme Court, each with separate powers to maintain balance. David, you did really well today. Answering all 10 questions with clear understanding shows you're getting ready. How are you feeling about the test now?
Honestly, Andrea, I'm feeling a lot more confident than before. Your explanations really help me understand why each answer is right, not just memorizing. That makes it easier to remember and explain during the real interview.
That's wonderful to hear. Understanding the context behind facts is always better than rote memorization. It helps you think through any question you might not immediately recognize. Also, don't worry if you stumble during the real test. You can always ask the officer to repeat the question or take a moment to gather your thoughts.
That's a relief. Sometimes I get nervous and blank out, but knowing I can pause or ask helps calm me down.
Exactly. And practicing out loud, like we're doing now, is one of the best ways to build that confidence. The more familiar the questions and answers feel, the more natural you'll sound. We'll keep practicing, and by the time of your test, you'll be ready to handle anything they ask.
Thanks so much, Andrea. I really appreciate your help. I'm looking forward to our next session and continuing this journey.
Me too, David. Keep practicing, and I'll see you here soon with the next set of questions.
100 Civics Questions Part 2, Q1120, Fast and Clear Practice, 2008 Test, Civics Question 4U. A few days later, Andrea and David meet again at the same cafe. The atmosphere is relaxed and encouraging as they continue David's citizenship preparation.
Ready for the next set of questions, David? Let's build on what you've learned.
Absolutely, Andrea. I feel better each time we practice.
Question 11. What is freedom of religion? A. You can practice only one religion. B. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. C. You must practice a religion.
I'll go with B. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion.
That's right. Freedom of religion means the government cannot force anyone to follow a particular religion, nor can it prevent people from practicing their faith freely, or choosing not to practice any religion at all. This protection ensures diversity and respects individual beliefs, which is a core American value guaranteed by the First Amendment. Question 12. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? A. The Pacific Ocean. B. The Atlantic Ocean. C. The Arctic Ocean.
I'll go with B. The Atlantic Ocean.
Correct. The Atlantic Ocean borders the entire eastern coast of the United States, from the southern states like Florida all the way up to Maine. This ocean was historically important as the main route for early settlers arriving from Europe and remains vital for commerce and transportation. Question 13. What does the judicial branch do? A. Makes laws. B. Enforces laws. C. Reviews laws.
I'll go with C. Reviews laws.
Exactly. The judicial branch interprets laws and decides whether they align with the U.S. Constitution. It acts as a check on the legislative and executive branches by ensuring laws and government actions don't violate constitutional principles. This branch includes all federal courts, with the Supreme Court being the highest authority. Question 14. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? A. To pay taxes. B. To vote in a federal election. C. To serve on a jury.
I'll go with B. To vote in a federal election.
That's correct. While many responsibilities, like paying taxes, apply to all residents, only U.S. citizens have the right and responsibility to vote in federal elections, which include choosing the president, senators, and representatives. Voting is a crucial way citizens participate directly in democracy. Question 15. What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? A. He fought for civil rights. B. He was a president. C. He wrote the Constitution.
I'll go with A. He fought for civil rights.
Right. Martin Luther King Jr. was a pivotal leader in the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. Through nonviolent protests, speeches, and organizing, he worked to end racial segregation and discrimination against African Americans, helping to change laws and attitudes across the nation. Question 16. What is one of your state's U.S. senators? A. Joe Biden. B. Depends on the state. C. George Washington.
I'll go with B. Depends on the state.
Exactly. Each state elects 2 senators, but their names differ depending on where you live. Knowing your state's senators is important because they represent your interests in the federal government. This is a personalized question, so it's good to look up your current senators before the test. Question 17. What is the highest court in the United States? A. The Supreme Court. B. The Court of Appeals. C. The District Court.
I'll go with A. The Supreme Court.
Correct. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the U.S. It has the final authority on interpreting the Constitution and can overturn laws or government actions that violate constitutional rights. Its decisions affect the entire country. Question 18. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? A. July 4th, 1776. B. December 25th, 1776. C. January 1st, 1777.
I'll go with A. July 4th, 1776.
Right. July 4th, 1776 is when the Declaration of Independence was formally adopted by the Continental Congress. This document announced that the 13 American colonies were free from British rule and is celebrated annually as Independence Day. Question 19. Name one U.S. territory. A. Puerto Rico. B. Hawaii. C. Alaska.
I'll go with A. Puerto Rico.
Exactly. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory where people are American citizens, but it is not a state. Territories like Puerto Rico have their own local governments but are under the sovereignty of the U.S. federal government. Knowing this helps you understand the full scope of U.S. jurisdiction. Question 20. Who was president during World War I? A. Theodore Roosevelt. B. Woodrow Wilson. C. Franklin D. Roosevelt.
I'll go with B. Woodrow Wilson.
Correct. Woodrow Wilson was president from 1913 to 1921. He led the U.S. through World War I, helped shape the post-war peace process, and promoted the idea of the League of Nations, aiming to prevent future wars. You're doing a fantastic job, David. These questions are a bit more challenging, but you're handling them well. How do you feel about the material?
I'm feeling more confident. but some questions like the names of my state's senators still make me pause. I guess I need to memorize those specifically. Repeating words.
That's completely normal. For personalized questions, try writing down your senator's names and reviewing them every day. Also, linking facts to stories or dates, as we did today with the Declaration of Independence, makes them stick better.
I like that. Connecting facts to stories helps me remember more naturally, instead of just repeating words.
Exactly. And don't forget, in your actual test, it's okay to ask the officer to repeat or explain a question if you're unsure. Taking your time is better than rushing and feeling confused.
That's reassuring to know. I'll keep practicing out loud and focus on understanding the reasons behind each answer.
Perfect. With this approach and steady practice, you'll continue improving. I'm proud of your progress so far, David. Let's meet again soon and keep building this confidence.
Thanks, Andrea. I appreciate your help. I'm ready for the next step.
100 Civics Questions Part 3, Q2130. Learn and Remember Easily, 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. A week later, Andrea and David meet again at the same cafe. The mood is upbeat as David's confidence continues to grow.
Welcome back, David. You're doing great so far. Ready for the next 10 questions?
Definitely. I'm eager to keep improving.
Question 21. We elect a president for how many years? A. 2 years. B. 4 years. C. 6 years.
I'll go with B. 4 years.
Correct. The president serves a 4-year term. This length is designed to balance giving the president enough time to lead and make meaningful decisions while still holding regular elections to keep the office accountable to the people. Presidents can serve a maximum of 2 terms, which means 8 years in total. This system encourages both stability and democratic control. Question 22. What is the rule of law? A. Only government officials must follow the law. B. Everyone must follow the law. C. Laws can be ignored if inconvenient.
I'll go with B. Everyone must follow the law.
Exactly. The rule of law means that laws apply equally to every person. No one is above the law, whether they are ordinary citizens, government leaders, or even the president. This principle is fundamental to democracy because it ensures fairness, prevents abuse of power, and protects individual rights. Without the rule of law, society would be chaotic and unjust. Question 23. When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? A. April 15th. B. December 31st. C. July 4th.
I'll go with A. April 15th.
That's right. April 15th is the official deadline each year for filing your federal income taxes with the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. Paying taxes is a civic duty that funds important government programs and services, from infrastructure to national defense. Missing the deadline can result in penalties, so it's important to be timely or request an extension if needed. Question 24. What happened at the Constitutional Convention? A. The Bill of Rights was written. B. The Constitution was written. C. The Declaration of Independence was signed.
I'll go with B. The Constitution was written.
Correct. The Constitutional Convention was held in Philadelphia in 1787, where delegates from the states gathered to address problems in the Articles of Confederation. They wrote the U.S. Constitution, creating a stronger federal government with 3 branches and a system of checks and balances. This document is the foundation of American government and law. Question 25. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? A. To run local schools. B. To print money. C. To give driver's licenses.
I'll go with B. To print money.
Exactly. Only the federal government can issue currency. This control is crucial to maintain a stable national economy and prevent confusion or fraud that would arise if states printed their own money. This exclusive power helps unify the country financially and economically. Question 26. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? A. Gave women the right to vote. B. Freed the slaves. C. Ended the Revolutionary War.
I'll go with B. Freed the slaves.
That's right. Issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1863 during the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation declared that all slaves in the Confederate States were to be set free. Although it didn't immediately free all slaves, it was a turning point that shifted the war's purpose to ending slavery and paved the way for the 13th Amendment, which permanently abolished slavery. Question 27. Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? A. American Indians. B. African slaves. C. Spanish explorers.
I'll go with A. American Indians.
Correct. American Indians, also called Native Americans, were the original inhabitants of the continent for thousands of years before European settlers arrived. They had diverse cultures, languages, and societies, and their history is a vital part of America's story. Understanding their presence honors their contributions and acknowledges the country's complex past. Question 28. How many amendments does the Constitution have? A. 10. B. 27. C. 50.
I'll go with B. 27.
Exactly. The Constitution has been amended 27 times since it was written. The first 10 amendments, known as the Bill of Rights, protect fundamental freedoms like speech and religion. Later amendments expanded rights, including abolishing slavery and giving women the right to vote. Amendments allow the Constitution to evolve with society. Question 29. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? A. Because there are 13 original colonies. B. Because there are 13 states. C. Because of 13 amendments.
I'll go with A. Because there were 13 original colonies.
Correct. The 13 stripes on the American flag symbolize the original 13 colonies that declared independence from Britain in 1776. The stripes serve as a reminder of the nation's origins and the unity that created the United States. Question 30. Who makes federal laws? A. The President. B. The Supreme Court. C. Congress.
I'll go with C. Congress.
Exactly. Congress is the legislative branch responsible for making federal laws. It consists of two parts, the House of Representatives and the Senate. Members debate, draft, and vote on laws. The president then signs or vetoes them. This process is a core part of the checks and balances system. David, your progress is impressive. These questions involve more abstract ideas, but you're showing a deepening understanding, which is exactly what the test officers look for.
Thank you, Andrea. I still find some concepts like the rule of law and how different branches work a bit complex, but your detailed explanations really help me see the bigger picture.
That's great to hear. The citizenship test isn't just about memorizing facts. It's about showing that you grasp the principles that make the country work. Take your time to think about the meaning behind each answer. Also, don't hesitate to ask for clarification during your real interview if something isn't clear.
Knowing I can ask questions during the interview takes a lot of pressure off. I want to make sure I understand, not just recite answers.
Exactly. And keep practicing speaking out loud, especially explaining answers in your own words. It builds confidence and makes your answers sound natural. Remember, you're doing more than preparing for a test. You're preparing to be an active citizen.
That really motivates me. I want to contribute and belong.
And you will, David. With steady practice and understanding like this, you're well on your way. I'm proud of your dedication, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you.
Thanks so much, Andrea. I'm ready for whatever comes next.
100 Civics Questions Part 4. Q3140, Step-by-Step Prep. 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. On a bright morning at their usual cafe, Andrea and David meet again to continue their citizenship preparation. Today, they focus not only on content but also on how to improve David's speaking skills for the interview.
Good morning, David. Ready to dive into the next set of questions? Today, besides practicing answers, we'll also talk about ways to improve your speaking skills for the interview.
Good morning, Andrea. That sounds perfect. I want to feel confident when I speak, not just know the answers.
Question 31. Who is a governor of your state now? A. Joe Biden. B. Depends on the state. C. Barack Obama.
I'll go with B. Depends on the state.
Correct. Each state has its own governor who leads the state government, similar to how the president leads the country. Since governors change with elections, the answer depends on where you live. It's important to know your current governor's name for the test. Question 32. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? A. To print money. B. To give a driver's license. C. To declare war.
I'll go with B. To give a driver's license.
Exactly. States handle many responsibilities like issuing driver's licenses, running local elections, and setting education standards. This division of powers allows states to manage local issues directly. Question 33. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? A. To be loyal to the United States. B. To vote in every election. C. To run for office.
I'll go with A. To be loyal to the United States.
That's right. When you take the oath of allegiance, you promise loyalty to the U.S. This includes obeying laws, supporting the Constitution, and defending the country if needed. It's a serious commitment reflecting your new role as a citizen. Question 34. What is one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? A. He was the first president. B. He freed the slaves' Emancipation Proclamation. C. He wrote the Constitution.
I'll go with B. He freed the slaves' Emancipation Proclamation.
Correct. Abraham Lincoln led the country during the Civil War and issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, which declared that slaves in Confederate states were free. This was a major step toward ending slavery in the U.S. Question 35. Why does the flag have 50 stars? A. Because there are 50 states. B. Because there were 50 colonies. C. Because there are 50 presidents.
I'll go with A. Because there are 50 states.
Exactly. Each star on the flag represents one of the 50 states in the United States. The flag stars have grown over time as new states joined the Union, symbolizing unity among all states. Question 36. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? A. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion. B. Right to vote and right to drive. C. Right to free college education and free health care.
I'll go with A. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion.
Correct. These fundamental freedoms apply to everyone living in the U.S., not just citizens. Freedom of speech allows people to express ideas openly, and freedom of religion lets individuals choose their faith or no faith at all. Question 37. Who is the father of our country? A. Thomas Jefferson. B. George Washington. C. Abraham Lincoln.
I'll go with B. George Washington.
That's right. George Washington was the first president and a leader of the Revolutionary War. He is often called the father of our country for his role in founding the United States. Question 38. There were 13 original states. Name 3 of them. A. New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire. B. California, Texas, Florida. C. Alaska, Hawaii, Nevada.
I'll go with A. New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire.
Correct. These are 3 of the original 13 colonies that declared independence from Britain in 1776, forming the foundation of the United States. Question 39. What does the President's Cabinet do? A. They decide Supreme Court cases. B. They advise the President. C. They make laws.
I'll go with B. They advise the President.
Exactly. The Cabinet is made up of leaders from important departments who give the President advice on key issues. While they guide the President, only the President makes final decisions. Question 40. What is the political party of the President now? A. Republican. B. Democratic. C. Libertarian.
I'll go with A. Republican.
That's correct for this practice. Keep in mind that the President's party can change after elections, so always check the latest information before your interview. David, you're doing wonderfully with these questions, but I want to talk about something just as important for your interview: the way you speak. Good speaking skills can make a huge difference in how comfortable and confident you feel.
I agree. Sometimes I know the answer but struggle to say it clearly. What do you suggest?
Great question. First, practice speaking out loud every day, even if it's just to yourself. Try explaining your answers in your own words, not just repeating memorized lines. This helps your voice sound natural and confident.
That makes sense. I'll try explaining answers to my family or friends.
Perfect. Teaching others helps you learn better and get used to talking about these topics. Also, record yourself and listen back. You can notice where to improve your pronunciation, tone, or pacing.
I hadn't thought of that. Listening to myself might help me spot mistakes.
Absolutely. Another tip is to slow down when answering. Nervousness often makes people rush, which can cause stumbles. Speaking slowly gives you time to think and makes you easier to understand.
I'll work on that. What about if I don't understand a question during the test?
It's okay to politely ask the officer to repeat or say it more slowly. They expect this and won't penalize you. The goal is clear communication, not speed.
That's a relief to hear.
Remember, practice and preparation build confidence. Keep practicing speaking and reviewing your answers, and you'll do great. I'm proud of your progress, David. Keep it up.
Thank you, Andrea. Your support really helps me feel ready for the real thing.
100 Civics Questions Part 5. Q4150, Quick Practice and Review. 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. Andrea and David meet again at their favorite cafe, ready to continue their citizenship test preparation. Today, they focus not only on content but also on ways to enhance David's speaking confidence for the interview.
Welcome back, David. You're doing very well so far. Today, besides going over 10 more questions, we'll discuss how you can improve your speaking skills to feel more confident during the interview. Ready?
Absolutely, Andrea. I want to be clear and confident when I speak.
Question 41. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? A. Checks and balances. B. The President. C. The Supreme Court.
I'll go with A. Checks and balances.
That's correct. The United States government is divided into three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. The system of checks and balances allows each branch to monitor and limit the powers of the others. This ensures that no single branch gains too much power, protecting the country's democracy and promoting accountability. Question 42. Name one state that borders Canada. A. New York. B. Florida. C. Texas.
I'll go with A. New York.
Right. New York shares a border with Canada along the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence River. Knowing one or two states that border Canada is important because it shows your understanding of U.S. geography. Question 43. Who did the United States fight in World War I? A. Canada and Mexico. B. France and England. C. Japan, Germany, and Italy.
I'll go with C. Japan, Germany, and Italy.
Exactly. The U.S. fought mainly against the Central Powers, which included Germany and Austria-Hungary, as well as their allies like Italy. Japan was also part of the Allied powers. Knowing the countries involved demonstrates your grasp of key historical facts. Question 44. When must all men register for the Selective Service? A. At age 21. B. At age 16. C. At age 18.
I'll go with C. At age 18.
That's correct. All men living in the U.S. are required by law to register with the Selective Service system within 30 days of their 18th birthday. This registration is used in case a military draft is needed, although the draft has not been active since 1973. Question 45. What is the economic system in the United States? A. Socialist economy. B. Command economy. C. Market economy.
I'll go with C. Market economy.
Right. The U.S. has a market economy where individuals and businesses make most economic decisions based on supply and demand. The government regulates but does not control the economy, encouraging competition and innovation. Question 46. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? A. Fascism. B. Democracy. C. Communism.
I'll go with C. Communism.
That's correct. The Cold War was a period of tension primarily between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. The U.S. was concerned about the spread of communism, which is a political and economic system where the government controls everything. This fear influenced U.S. foreign policy for decades. Question 47. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. A. The Civil War. B. The Revolutionary War. C. World War II.
I'll go with C. World War II.
Exactly. The U.S. entered World War II in 1941 after the attack on Pearl Harbor. This war was a global conflict that lasted until 1945 and shaped the world's political landscape. Question 48. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. A. World War I. B. The Civil War. C. The Korean War.
I'll go with B. The Civil War.
Correct. The Civil War, fought from 1861 to 1865, was a major conflict between the northern and southern states, mainly about slavery and state rights. It is one of the most important events in U.S. history. Question 49. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? A. 435. B. 100. C. 50.
I'll go with A. 435.
Right. The House has 435 voting members representing congressional districts across all states. This number is fixed to ensure proportional representation based on population. Question 50. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. A. Cherokee. B. Apache. C. Crow.
I'll go with C. Crow.
Exactly. The Crow tribe is one of many Native American tribes with rich history and culture. Knowing at least one tribe shows your respect for the diverse peoples who lived in America before European settlers arrived. David, your answers show great understanding, but speaking clearly and confidently is just as important. To improve, practice speaking out loud every day and try explaining the answers in your own words as if teaching someone else.
I sometimes feel nervous and talk too fast. How can I stay calm?
That's common. Try to slow down your speech. Pausing between sentences gives you time to think and makes it easier for listeners to follow. Also, recording yourself can help you hear how you sound and identify areas for improvement.
I'll try recording myself. What about practicing with others?
Practicing with family or friends is great. It simulates a real conversation and builds your confidence. And remember, during your interview, it's okay to ask the officer to repeat or clarify a question if you don't understand it.
That makes me feel much more confident. Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. Keep practicing steadily, and you'll do very well. I'm proud of your progress.
Thanks, Andrea. I'm ready to keep improving.
100 Civics Questions Part 6. Q5160, Easy Interview Practice. 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. Andrea and David meet again at their favorite cafe. The sun shines brightly, reflecting the positive energy as they prepare for the next set of citizenship test questions. Today, they will also focus on sharpening David's speaking skills.
Hi, David. Great to see you again. We've come a long way. Ready for 10 more questions and some tips on how to improve your speaking?
Hi, Andrea. Yes, I'm excited to learn more and want to get better at speaking clearly.
Question 51. What is the capital of the United States? A. Washington, D.C. B. New York City. C. Los Angeles.
I'll go with A. Washington, D.C.
That's correct. Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States and the seat of the federal government. It's home to the White House, where the president lives and works, the Capitol building, where Congress meets, and the Supreme Court. Knowing the Capitol is fundamental because it's the political center of the country. Question 52. Who is in charge of the executive branch? A. The President. B. The Speaker of the House. C. The Chief Justice.
I'll go with A. The President.
Right. The President leads the executive branch, which is responsible for enforcing and carrying out federal laws. The President is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and represents the nation both domestically and internationally. Understanding this role is crucial for knowing how the government functions. Question 53. What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? A. Kamala Harris. B. J.D. Vance. C. Mike Pence.
I'll go with B. J.D. Vance.
Correct. The Vice President supports the President and is next in line to take over the presidency if the President cannot serve. Keeping up to date with current leaders is important because these positions can change with elections or appointments. Question 54. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? A. Louisiana. B. Alaska. C. Florida.
I'll go with A. Louisiana.
Exactly. The Louisiana Purchase was a landmark event that doubled the size of the United States by acquiring land west of the Mississippi River. This purchase from France in 1803 opened vast territories for exploration and settlement, shaping the country's expansion. Question 55. What did Susan B. Anthony do? A. Fought for women's rights. B. Was the first female president. C. Wrote the Declaration of Independence.
I'll go with A. Fought for women's rights.
That's right. Susan B. Anthony was a pioneering leader in the women's suffrage movement, advocating tirelessly for women's right to vote. Her work helped lead to the 19th Amendment, which granted women voting rights in 1920. Question 56. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? A. The Chief Justice. B. The Speaker of the House. C. The Secretary of State.
I'll go with B. The Speaker of the House.
Correct. The Speaker of the House is third in line to the presidency after the vice president. This line of succession ensures stability and continuity of leadership in the government in case of emergencies. Question 57. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? A. 7. B. 9. C. 12.
I'll go with B. 9.
Exactly. The Supreme Court consists of 9 justices, including 1 Chief Justice and 8 Associate Justices. They serve lifetime appointments and are responsible for interpreting the Constitution and reviewing laws to ensure they comply with constitutional principles. Question 58. What are two cabinet-level positions? A. Attorney General and Vice President. B. Secretary of Education and Chief Justice. C. Speaker of the House and Senate Majority Leader.
I'll go with A. Attorney General and Vice President.
Right. The President's cabinet includes the heads of major departments like the Attorney General, who leads the Department of Justice, and the Vice President. They advise the President on a wide range of policy issues and help implement government programs. Question 59. In what month do we vote for President? A. July. B. November. C. January.
I'll go with B. November.
Correct. Federal elections, including the presidential election, take place in November on the Tuesday following the first Monday. This date was chosen historically to accommodate the agricultural calendar and has become a consistent election day. Question 60. How many senators do we have? A. 50. B. 100. C. 200.
I'll go with B. 100.
That's right. The Senate has 100 members, with each of the 50 states represented by 2 senators, regardless of population size. This equal representation balances the House, where representation is based on population. David, your answers show a solid understanding of the government and history. Now, to improve your speaking skills, try to practice speaking out loud every day. Explain the answers as if you're teaching someone else.
Sometimes I feel nervous and tend to speak too quickly. How can I slow down?
A good method is to pause between sentences and take deep breaths. This helps calm nerves and gives you time to organize your thoughts. Recording yourself is also very helpful because you can hear how you sound and adjust your pace and clarity.
I will try that. What about practicing with others?
Practice with family or friends as much as possible. It simulates real conversations and builds your confidence. Remember, during the interview, if you don't understand a question, it's perfectly okay to ask the officer to repeat or clarify.
That makes me feel much more comfortable. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Keep practicing consistently. You're doing great and will do well on your test.
100 Civics Questions Part 7, Q6170, Fast Review for Interview, 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. Andrea and David meet again at their favorite cafe, ready to tackle the next set of citizenship questions. The atmosphere is warm and focused.
Hi, David. It's great to see you again. You've made excellent progress so far. Today, we'll cover more questions and also focus on how you can speak clearly and confidently during your interview. Ready?
Hi, Andrea. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I want to be more comfortable speaking.
Question 61. Where is the Statue of Liberty? A. The New York Harbor. B. San Francisco Bay. C. Chesapeake Bay.
I'll go with A. The New York Harbor.
That's right. The Statue of Liberty is located on Liberty Island in New York Harbor. It was a gift from France to the United States and symbolizes freedom and democracy. It welcomed millions of immigrants arriving by sea, representing hope and opportunity. Question 62. What is the supreme law of the land? A. The Declaration of Independence. B. The Constitution. C. The Bill of Rights.
I'll go with B. The Constitution.
Correct. The U.S. Constitution is the highest law in the country. All laws, whether federal, state, or local, must comply with it. It establishes the structure of government, the rights of citizens, and the rule of law, making it the foundation of American democracy. Question 63. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. A. John Jay. B. Thomas Jefferson. C. Benjamin Franklin.
I'll go with A. John Jay.
Exactly. John Jay, along with Alexander Hamilton and James Madison, wrote the Federalist Papers to explain and promote the Constitution's principles. These essays helped persuade the states to ratify the Constitution by clarifying its intent and benefits. Question 64. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? A. The flag of the United States. B. The United States. C. The President.
I'll go with B. The United States.
Correct. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we express loyalty and patriotism to the United States itself, the nation, its values, and its people. It's a promise to support and defend the country and its Constitution. Question 65. What is the name of the national anthem? A. America the Beautiful. B. The Star-Spangled Banner. C. God Bless America.
I'll go with B. The Star-Spangled Banner.
Actually, it was written by Francis Scott Key during the War of 1812 and officially became the national anthem in 1931. The anthem tells the story of the American flag surviving a fierce battle and symbolizes national pride and resilience. Question 66. When do we celebrate Independence Day? A. July 4th. B. December 25th. C. November 11th.
I'll go with A. July 4th.
Correct. Independence Day commemorates July 4th, 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was adopted. It marks the United States' official separation from British rule and is celebrated with fireworks, parades, and patriotic events. Question 67. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. A. Taxation. B. Slavery. C. Immigration.
I'll go with B. Slavery.
That's right. The issue of slavery, especially its expansion into new states and territories, deeply divided the nation and was the main cause of the Civil War. The war ultimately led to the abolition of slavery. Question 68. Who vetoes bills? A. Congress. B. The President. C. The Supreme Court.
I'll go with B. The President.
Correct. The President has the power to veto bills passed by Congress, rejecting them. However, Congress can override a veto with a 2/3 majority vote in both houses, ensuring a balance of power. Question 69. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? A. We the people. B. Life, liberty, property. C. In God we trust.
I'll go with A. We the people.
Exactly. We the people signifies that the government's power comes from the citizens themselves. It reflects the principle that Americans govern themselves through elected representatives, a core idea of democracy. Question 70. Name one right only for United States citizens. A. To vote in a federal election. B. To free speech. C. To own property.
I'll go with A. To vote in a federal election.
That's right. Only U.S. citizens have the right to vote in federal elections, such as those for the president, senators, and representatives. Voting is both a right and a responsibility of citizenship. David, you're doing an excellent job understanding these important topics. Now, let's talk about improving your speaking skills.
Sometimes I feel nervous and speak too fast. How can I improve?
A great way to improve is by practicing out loud every day. Try explaining answers as if you're teaching a friend. This helps your speech sound natural and confident. Also, slow your pace by pausing between sentences. This gives you time to think and helps others understand you better.
I see. Any other tips?
Recording yourself and listening back is very helpful. It allows you to notice where you can improve your pronunciation and tone. Also, practicing with family or friends can simulate real conversations and build your confidence.
That sounds very useful. What if I don't understand a question during the interview?
Don't worry. It's perfectly fine to politely ask the officer to repeat or explain the question. They want to see clear communication, not speed. Taking your time is always better.
That really helps ease my nerves. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, David. Keep practicing steadily, and you'll do wonderfully on your test.
100 Civics Questions Part 8, Q7180. Learn faster with repeats. 2008 test. Civics question for you. Andrea and David sit comfortably in their usual cafe, focused and motivated. They prepare to dive into some of the more challenging citizenship questions and discuss strategies for handling the hardest parts of the test.
Hi, David. It's good to see you again. Today, we'll work on some of the toughest questions in the citizenship test. We'll also talk about how to approach those tricky questions confidently. Ready?
Hi, Andrea. Yes, I've been nervous about the harder questions, so this is exactly what I need.
Question 71. Who does a U.S. Senator represent? A. All people of the state. B. Only people from the senator's city. C. Only registered voters.
I'll go with A. All people of the state.
Correct. Unlike members of the House of Representatives, who represent smaller districts, senators represent every person in their entire state. This means their decisions affect a broad population, and they must consider diverse interests. Question 72. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? A. The Secretary of State. B. The Vice President. C. The Speaker of the House.
I'll go with B. The Vice President.
Exactly. The Vice President is first in the presidential line of succession. If the President dies, resigns, or is removed, the Vice President assumes the presidency, ensuring smooth continuity of leadership. Question 73. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? A. John Roberts. B. Clarence Thomas. C. Sonia Sotomayor.
I'll go with A. John Roberts.
Right. John Roberts is the current Chief Justice, leading the Supreme Court and presiding over its most important decisions. He plays a vital role in interpreting the Constitution. Question 74. Why do some states have more representatives than other states? A. Because they have more people. B. Because they have bigger land area. C. Because they have more cities.
I'll go with A. Because they have more people.
Correct. The number of representatives per state is based on population size, not land area or number of cities. States with larger populations have more representatives in Congress to ensure proportional representation. Question 75. Name two national U.S. holidays. A. Independence Day and Halloween. B. New Year's Day and Christmas. C. Valentine's Day and Thanksgiving.
I'll go with B. New Year's Day and Christmas.
Right. New Year's Day and Christmas are two major federal holidays observed nationwide. Knowing these helps show your understanding of American culture and traditions. Question 76. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States? A. A presidential election. B. The start of the Great Depression. C. Terrorists attacked the United States.
I'll go with C. Terrorists attacked the United States.
On 9/11, terrorist groups hijacked planes and attacked the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, a defining moment in recent American history. Question 77. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. A. Any citizen can vote. B. Only men can vote. C. Only property owners can vote.
I'll go with A. Any citizen can vote.
Exactly. Amendments like the 15th, 19th, 24th, and 26th expanded voting rights to all citizens, regardless of race, gender, or age, above 18, ensuring inclusive democratic participation. Question 78. What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now? A. Nancy Pelosi. B. Mike Johnson. C. Paul Ryan.
I'll go with B. Mike Johnson.
Correct. Mike Johnson is the current Speaker, responsible for leading the House and managing legislative business. Knowing current leaders shows you stay informed. Question 79. Name your U.S. representative. A. Depends on your congressional district. B. The Vice President. C. The Governor.
I'll go with A. Depends on your congressional district.
Right. Representatives are elected based on districts. You should know the name of your specific representative for the test, so check your local information before the interview. Question 80. Who signs bills to become laws? A. The Speaker of the House. B. The President. C. The Supreme Court.
I'll go with B. The President.
Correct. After Congress passes a bill, it goes to the President for signature. The President's approval makes it law. Otherwise, it can be vetoed. David, these are some of the more challenging questions, but you're handling them very well. Remember, when you encounter difficult questions in the interview, take a deep breath and think carefully before answering.
Sometimes I worry about getting stuck on hard questions. How should I deal with that?
It's natural to feel that way. The best approach is to stay calm and take your time. If you're unsure, it's okay to ask the officer to repeat or clarify the question. Also, if you don't know an answer, be honest. It's better than guessing wildly.
That makes sense. How can I make my speaking sound confident even when I'm nervous?
Practice is key. Keep explaining answers out loud in your own words daily. Focus on speaking slowly and clearly and practice breathing deeply. Practicing with friends or family also helps simulate the real experience.
Thanks, Andrea. Your advice really helps me feel more prepared.
You're doing great, David. Keep practicing, and you'll do wonderfully on your test.
I'm grateful for your support and ready for the next step.
100 Civics Questions Part 9. Q8190 Quick Interview Practice. 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. Andrea and David meet at their usual cafe, ready to review some of the most challenging questions on the citizenship test. They also discuss strategies to confidently handle the hardest questions.
Hi, David. You've come a long way. Today, we'll focus on some of the toughest questions and talk about how to manage them during the interview. Ready?
Hi, Andrea. Yes, I feel nervous about some hard questions, so I appreciate this practice.
Question 81. What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? A. Life and liberty. B. Freedom of speech and religion. C. To vote and run for office.
I'll go with A. Life and liberty.
Excellent. The Declaration of Independence states that all men are created equal, with unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These rights are the foundation of American values and reflect the importance of individual freedom. Question 82. What is the capital of your state? A. Depends on the state. B. New York. C. Washington, D.C.
I'll go with B. New York.
Good. Many states have well-known capitals like Albany for New York. Knowing your state capital is important because it's where your state government is based, including the governor's office and legislature. Question 83. What is an amendment? A. A change to the Constitution. B. A law passed by Congress. C. A speech given by the President.
I'll go with A. A change to the Constitution.
Right. Amendments are formal changes or additions that update the Constitution. These allow the government and laws to adapt to new circumstances while preserving fundamental principles. Question 84. When was the Constitution written? A. 1787. B. 1776. C. 1801.
I'll go with B. 1776.
Actually, the Constitution was written in 1787, so the correct answer is A. But 1776 is the year the Declaration of Independence was signed, which declared freedom from British rule. It's a common point of confusion. Question 85. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? A. The Civil Rights Movement. B. The Women's Rights Movement. C. The Labor Movement.
I'll go with A. The Civil Rights Movement.
Correct. The Civil Rights Movement fought to end segregation and discrimination, securing equal rights for African Americans and other minorities. It was a pivotal chapter in American history. Question 86. What does the Constitution do? A. Sets up the government. B. Lists the laws of each state. C. Announces independence from Britain.
I'll go with A. Sets up the government.
Perfect. The Constitution organizes the federal government, defining the powers and responsibilities of the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. It also protects citizens' rights and freedoms. Question 87. What did the Declaration of Independence do? A. It ended the Civil War. B. It created the Constitution. C. It announced our independence from Great Britain.
I'll go with C. It announced our independence from Great Britain.
Adopted on July 4, 1776, declared the colonies free from British rule and explained the reasons for separation. Question 88. What is the name of the President of the United States now? A. Joe Biden. B. Donald Trump. C. Barack Obama.
I'll go with B. Donald Trump.
Correct for this practice. Keep in mind that this answer can change with elections, so stay updated before your interview. Question 89. What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? A. Vote and run for office. B. Work and pay taxes. C. Attend church and vote.
I'll go with A. Vote and run for office.
Exactly. In a democracy, citizens can participate by voting in elections and running for public office. This allows people to have a direct say in how the government is run and who represents them. Question 90. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Declaration of Independence. C. The Federalist Papers.
I'll go with A. The Bill of Rights.
Absolutely. The Bill of Rights guarantees essential freedoms such as speech, religion, and a fair trial, forming a crucial part of American rights. David, you've done very well with these tough questions, but I know that difficult questions can make you feel pressured during the interview. The most important thing is, when you face a question you're unsure about, stay calm. Don't rush to answer immediately. Take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to think before you speak.
But what if I still don't know the answer, Andrea? Should I try to guess?
I recommend that you don't guess blindly. If you're not sure, it's perfectly okay to honestly say you don't know and politely ask the officer to repeat or explain the question. The officers understand this, and what they really want to see is how you communicate and handle the situation, not just whether you give the perfect answer right away. Staying calm and confident makes a strong impression.
I see. What about speaking? I often speak too fast when I'm nervous.
That's very common. The key is to practice slowing down and speaking clearly. Try breaking your answers into short sentences with pauses, so you have time to think about what to say next. You can also practice in front of a mirror or record yourself to hear how you sound, and then adjust your pronunciation and tone.
I'll try recording myself and practicing with my family or friends. Should I also simulate the interview situation?
Absolutely. Simulating the interview helps you get used to the real pressure and respond more naturally. Practicing with others also helps you learn how to stay calm. Control your speaking speed and use eye contact and gestures effectively.
Do you have any advice for mental preparation?
Remember that the officer wants you to succeed. They're there to help you show your best self. Before the interview, get plenty of rest, eat well, and maintain a positive mindset. Believing in your preparation will boost your confidence a lot.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Your advice really helps me feel more relaxed and gives me a clear plan to practice.
I'm glad to hear that. Keep practicing regularly. I'm confident you'll do great on your test and achieve your goal.
100 Civics Questions Part 10. Q91-100. Final Review to Pass. 2008 Test. Civics Question for You. Andrea and David meet at their usual cafe. ready to finish their preparation with the last 10 questions and discuss David's feelings and readiness for the citizenship interview.
Hi, David. This is our final session. You've done a fantastic job preparing. Let's finish with these last questions, then talk about your overall thoughts on the interview. Ready?
Hi, Andrea. I'm a little nervous but ready. Let's get started.
Question 91. Who was the president during the Great Depression and World War II? A. Franklin Roosevelt. B. Herbert Hoover. C. Harry Truman's.
I'll go with A. Franklin Roosevelt.
Correct. Franklin D. Roosevelt, often called FDR, was president from 1933 to 1945. During the Great Depression, a severe economic crisis that caused massive unemployment and hardship, he introduced the New Deal, a series of government programs aimed at economic recovery and social reform. Later, as World War II unfolded, FDR led the country through the conflict with strong leadership, rallying the nation and coordinating the military effort that ultimately helped the Allies win the war. Question 92. Who is the Commander-in-Chief of the military? A. The President. B. The Secretary of Defense. C. The Vice President.
I'll go with A. The President.
Exactly. The U.S. Constitution gives the President supreme command over the military forces. As Commander-in-Chief, the President has authority over military decisions, troop deployments, and national defense policies. This civilian control ensures that military power is under democratic oversight. Question 93. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? A. Africans. B. Native Americans. C. Europeans.
I'll go with A. Africans.
That's right. Between the 1600s and 1800s, millions of Africans were forcibly captured and transported to America as part of the transatlantic slave trade. They were sold into slavery, primarily working on plantations. This brutal system had profound effects on American society and its development, and its legacy continues to shape the nation. Question 94. What is one reason colonists came to America? A. Freedom. B. Gold. C. Adventure.
I'll go with A. Freedom.
Correct. Many early colonists sought freedom, religious freedom, political freedom, and economic opportunities that were denied to them in their home countries. This desire for liberty was a driving force behind the founding of many colonies and is a foundational value in American history. Question 95. How many U.S. senators are there? A. 100. B. 50. C. 435.
I'll go with A. 100.
Exactly. The Senate consists of 100 members, with 2 senators representing each of the 50 states. Senators serve 6-year terms and play a critical role in making federal laws, approving treaties, and confirming presidential appointments. Question 96. What is the name of the war between the North and the South? A. The Civil War. B. The Revolutionary War. C. The War of 1812.
I'll go with A. The Civil War.
Correct. The Civil War was fought from 1861 to 1865 primarily over the issue of slavery and states' rights. The Northern States, Union, and Southern States, Confederacy, clashed in the bloodiest conflict on American soil. The war ended with the preservation of the United States and the abolition of slavery. Question 97. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? A. He was a U.S. diplomat. B. He was a Supreme Court justice. C. He was a general in the Revolutionary War.
I'll go with A. He was a U.S. diplomat.
Exactly. Benjamin Franklin was not only a founding father, but also an important diplomat. He helped secure crucial French support during the American Revolution and played a key role in drafting the Treaty of Paris, which ended the war. Question 98. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? A. World War II. B. The Korean War. C. The Vietnam War.
I'll go with A. World War II.
Correct. Dwight D. Eisenhower was the supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe during World War II. He planned and led the D-Day invasion, a turning point in the war, and later became the 34th President of the United States. Question 99. What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? A. The Senate and the House of Representatives. B. The executive and judicial branches. C. The Cabinet and the Supreme Court.
I'll go with A. The Senate and the House of Representatives.
Exactly. Congress is bicameral, consisting of two chambers. The Senate represents states equally, with 2 senators each. The House of Representatives represents people based on population. Together, they create laws, approve budgets, and oversee the government. Question 100. Name one state that borders Mexico. A. California. B. Texas. C. Arizona.
I'll go with A. California.
Correct. California shares a border with Mexico along the southern edge of the state. Other states bordering Mexico are Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. These border states are important for trade, culture, and immigration. David, you've done a fantastic job preparing for the test. How do you feel about your upcoming interview?
I feel much more confident now. The questions seem less intimidating after practicing so much.
That's great to hear. Remember, the interview is about more than just answering questions correctly. It's also about showing honesty, respect, and clear communication. You've built a strong foundation with your study and practice.
I'll keep that in mind. Do you have any last tips?
Yes. Stay calm and speak clearly. Don't rush your answers. If you don't understand a question, it's okay to ask the officer to repeat or explain. Trust yourself. You're ready to become a U.S. citizen.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Your support has been invaluable. I feel hopeful and prepared.
You're very welcome, David. Best of luck. I'm confident you'll do wonderfully.